Sponsored by Starbucks.
Okay, 1, 2, go.
Hello
everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode
To be in the same boat.
without tapestry.
Oh, that's... I'm sorry. I forgot the tapestry because I am stupid.
It's okay. It's been a rough week.
It's been a rough...
Hosted by
Karina.
Karina.
And Erica.
And...
Why has it been a rough week?
Why has it been a rough week? Oh my god, I actually don't I'm like, do I want to go into this? It's just
A summary of how your week's been going.
a lot of work,
Yeah.
like school work, a lot of just work. And I feel like it's just because coming after reading week is always a bit hard because you had that break and then you're going back and then it's always so busy. And then also for me, I was just I get discouraged a lot by my grades, I guess. For some parts of it, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are some classes that I actually do care. And then if I get a bad grade, it really does affect me a lot. So there's that as well.
So you're saying it's mostly because the grades, school.
Yeah, but also just I'm an anxious person in general.
Oh yeah, you see, you've been anxious for.
I've been anxious for since my birthday. Oh, I turned 21.
Happy belated birthday!
Thank
Everybody
you.
wish happy birthday to Karina. She's 21.
I'm 21.
21.
We were talking about it at work today, but yeah, I'm 21. And I think a couple of days before that, I was feeling anxious, and then during my birthday, and when that happened, actually, I remember Taylor Swift's song was "It's supposed to be fun, turning 21," and I was like, "This is so sad," because it was fun, but then anxiety is not something that
You can control.
I'm not gonna talk a lot about it, but on that topic, I just heard a girl saying yesterday, it was an interview, and she was saying that anxiety, you can be in the best state of your life ever, everything will be perfect, you have the perfect job, perfect husband, kids, whatever, you're traveling, but you still will be anxious.
Yeah.
When she said that, I was like,
you gotta,
okay.
Yeah, it doesn't just go away like that. It's not something that you can easily get rid of or anything. It's just gonna be there.
Yeah, so there's that. And then we went to Vancouver.
We did go to Vancouver over reading week, which was last week.
We're gonna talk about that, I guess, a lot.
Also, yeah, the whole topic of today's podcast revolves around that, in the sense that we're talking about how the grass is green on the other side. When we were in Vancouver, we were it's so much nicer here. But then also I realized that whenever I'm somewhere else, I tend to think that somewhere new, which is, I don't know, it's just a mindset.
It is a mindset.
Pretty negative, don't you think?
Oh, it's so it's just, it goes back to the psychology of a human though. You never have enough.
Yeah, and
there's
you want what you can't have.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's always you should appreciate what you have, but you never do, and you always just running to get more stuff.
Yeah.
Or move, or you always think that whatever other people have is better.
You're always chasing after something.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, for me, this week I feel like it just flew by.
That's what she said yesterday.
I said it yesterday. I said it today in the morning when I saw our movement mile. I was like, oh my God, it's Thursday. How is it Thursday? I didn't do anything this week. Just it flew by. But how did you like Vancouver?
Oh, I loved it.
Yay.
So when we're going there,
yeah,
Erica lived there in summer. So she was basically my guide. And this is probably my most relaxed trip in terms of I didn't do anything. I always plan stuff. I always look up where to go, at least do something. This time, because I was so busy before, it clicked that we're going to Vancouver maybe on Friday of us actually going.
And we were leaving on Sunday.
On Sunday morning.
Yeah.
But then we're actually left our house on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we had to be packed and stuff. And then I think Thursday night, that's when it hit me. I was like, oh my God, I need to pack. We're going to Vancouver. This is crazy. Because it happened very randomly as well.
It was a mix of I don't know, because we did book it we
while.
had time to process it, but also just because we were so busy with so many things But we didn't have time to be like, oh, like, we're going to Vancouver, we're doing this, we're doing that. They was like, okay, school's over, let's go.
Yeah,
so it was
literally.
Like, yeah.
And
it
it's
was
never like
spontaneous,
that.
but not really.
And it's never like that for me.
Yeah, because you're a like planner.
I'm a planner, first of all. Second of all, reading week for me always been like relaxed.
Yeah.
Like I don't do anything, and it's really is like that relaxing week, which is this time it was like, okay, we need to go, we need to wake up early, we need to like, you know, do all that stuff. And then in general, like flight 5 hours, people don't think it's far, but it is.
It actually is.
Like my parents were like, 5 hours, where are you going?
Yeah.
I'm like, another coast. Yeah, but I loved Vancouver. If you go to my Instagram, you'll see the post saying a soul feels better with mountains.
Or in vicinity.
And that's like, I wrote that and I was like, this makes so much sense to me. Because when I see mountains, just like a little part of me just like, okay.
You feel at ease, you feel calm, you feel happy.
Yeah.
That's me with water. We were talking about this.
Yeah, because again, it goes back to childhood. You grew up with water.
Not even that.
But
I
like,
barely.
But you still went like to the beach every so often.
Like here and there.
Yeah, for me, it's like going somewhere to water is like flying somewhere. There's no water near us.
Right.
Like we're landlocked.
Okay, yeah.
So the closest water I can find is like a lake, and that's not the same.
Because it's fun. Like, yeah, I did grow up with like water, but then I didn't used to like water. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I did. Like I've always loved swimming and stuff. Okay, yeah, no, I guess it is a big part of my childhood. Now that I think about it, actually, yeah, because I grew up just like swimming a lot and stuff. But what I meant was like oceans.
Yeah.
I wasn't like a huge like
ocean person.
Yeah, that was like a newer thing for me. But swimming in general and being in water, yeah, I've always liked that.
Yeah. So Vancouver's really nice.
I was actually so scared that you weren't gonna like it. I
really?
feel like in the beginning you weren't really enjoying it just because like the rain, and then it was like I feel like you seemed really tired, and I was really stressed throughout the whole like trip, low key.
I know you were. You're like, she was always like asking me if this is fine, this is fine. I'm like, girl, I don't care. Take me whatever, whatever. I'm like, I think like at least with you, I became so at ease when we do things. Like with other person, I might have been like more like stressed or like I need to look it up. I haven't looked up any single menus of the places that we went to. For me, it's crazy. Like I always look up stuff. Like I need to know. With you, I was like, sure. And then Erica like went somewhere one evening, and then I was just at home, and she was like, "Are you sure it's okay?"
Yeah.
I'm like, it's fine. And I just watched Disney.
Yeah.
And I had like my bubble tea and I called my family, and it was so nice. It's just like sometimes you need that break from just your routine. Even though we weren't doing something every single minute, like we had a lot of like space when we just like chilled.
Yeah, for sure.
Or we slept in.
Yeah.
That's why it wasn't like as crazy.
Yeah.
And I like that.
Okay, that's good. Because like sometimes I noticed like because you were feeling anxious first of all, and then you're also just like tired. Because well, basically I went to Vancouver also just to see someone that was like new from there, and then like I was like, oh, I need to like schedule my time out just to make sure that I'm like seeing people, spending time with like different people and stuff, and then. But I was like, a part of me like knew that you also enjoy like your alone time and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, she would enjoy like staying at home and watching Netflix and everything. Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, no, and every single time I was like, no, I'll go there with you. I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. Like it's literally not a big deal.
Yeah.
I don't know. What you guys told me on my birthday. Also, a really good birthday game. Our friend Maya told us about this. Oh yeah. You say. Every single person at the table has to say a nice thing.
What do you love about them?
What do you love about the birthday person? So one of the things they told me was how I make people at ease. I think that's what it was like. Make people comfortable or something. Yeah. When I heard that, first of all, did not expect that. Like I didn't know that. Yeah. And then I was like, wait, actually that makes a lot of sense. Like I am a people pleaser for sure. But then it doesn't come with me of like, oh, I need to change myself so the other person feels better. It's just I feel like I have so many like layers to myself that sometimes just bring that part of me, and it's fine. The same thing with you. as like obviously maybe if we spend more time together it would be fun, but also like we live together.
Yeah.
We spend all our time together. We have a podcast together, we're in the same program.
Yeah.
Like there's so many things that
Yeah.
I'm like, it's really not a big deal.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
So
When we got home, like, and then we got back to like our house at like 10
early in the morning.
early, like 10 in the morning.
Not even 10. It was like before 9.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. We got home really early. And then we both got into the basement. And I walked to the room. I was like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
But yeah. Okay, so going back to the topic of our conversation today.
Our conversation.
The grass is greener on the other side. Do you think that's the reason you're always changing places every 4 months?
Like, I feel like, okay, me moving every 4 months is like, a part of it is like I like to, but also another part of it is like I kind of have to,
Yeah.
in a sense that like, yeah. But I don't know. I don't see it like, oh, like I need to go there because it's nicer there. It's more of like I need a new change of scenery.
That's basically the same thing.
I guess so. I don't know. But like okay, one big thing was like when I first went to Vancouver in the summer, like my first month there, people that I met there, they were like, oh, like you're from Toronto, like how is it different? Like how do you like, which one do you like more? I do not know how to answer that question.
Oh yeah, same.
I do not know how to answer the question. I'm like, I don't know yet. It's my first month. I'm gonna see. I think I'll know by the end of the summer. And when the summer comes, I'm like, I still have no idea. When I'm in Vancouver, I'm like, I'm so proud to say like, oh, like I lived in Toronto, like I'm from there. But when I'm in Toronto, I'm like, oh, like I lived in Vancouver. I'm so proud to say that I was there in the summer. So it's like I like both. I don't know like which one
Do you like better?
I like better. I feel like I will always like the other one more when I'm
Really?
yeah.
Because I feel like, okay, from my perspective of like Erica,
Yeah.
I feel like after you came from Vancouver,
Yeah.
you started shitting on Toronto.
Yeah.
Like you started like hating Toronto. And I was like, this is so weird. Because
only the first few times I had such bad experiences going to Toronto when I
True.
came back. And it was a huge difference in comparison.
I guess, but I was just like, this is so weird. Because I remember you love Toronto.
I do.
And then I was like, wait, what's happening? And then when we were in Vancouver, like, yes, like personally, I would say some bad things about like yeah, Toronto is like, it's okay, but like I still like that city. I love Toronto, to be honest. But Erica would be like, yeah, no, it's a shithole. I'm like, wait, hold on a second.
I don't think I said Toronto's a shithole. I say Hamilton's a shithole.
We never say we're from Hamilton though. We not once we said we're from Hamilton. We always said we're from Toronto. You said Ontario,
Yeah.
which I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's more of like, oh, I'm here.
The shithole one was I said Hamilton.
Hamilton
Just,
for
like,
sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because my
Maybe
friend,
it wasn't you. Maybe it was Rachel. She was.
know.
Yeah.
it was I said shithole because my friend was like he DM'd me. He was like, oh, like, you're in BC. And he was like, what are you doing in this shithole? I was like, I'm here from my other shithole, Hamilton.
That's what we noticed so much. In Vancouver, people are like, oh my God, you're from Toronto.
Then they get so excited. It's like,
They get so excited.
exactly. It's always nicer than the other side.
Yeah, but then when people like in Toronto meet people from Vancouver, like, oh my God, like it's so nice and stuff. But no, so my question was like, are you scared that this is like the pattern? Or do you think it's just like this period of time? Like you're still a student?
Maybe it's this period of time. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like when I was in Amsterdam, I did not have this thought at all. In Amsterdam, it was like, okay, yeah, like it's greener here. It's the greenest here.
Because you just came also.
Yeah, and also it was like completely different and new. It was Europe, whereas like Vancouver, Toronto, it's still Canada, it's still North America. So I feel like maybe that's why. But about Toronto though, like, yeah, the first couple times going there after coming from Vancouver, I was like, oh yeah, it's not as nice here, whatever. And then this week, like on Monday, I went to Toronto, and I was like, oh my God, I remember why I love this city now. I was just like, maybe I think I was maybe in the wrong places. I don't know, maybe in the wrong like, I was in a good headspace. But when I went on Monday, I was like, I remember why I love the city and why like I wanted to live here and everything. So
I honestly think it's all about the people though.
and I also big thing is like talking to people. Like on Monday I met out with my boss, and she was from Vancouver.
Yeah.
And she was telling me how like, oh, like she really likes Toronto, like she wants to come here more often because the community here is better, like that she likes it more as well. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's actually right. Like, yeah, Toronto's really nice. But then I don't know. And then like talking to some people here who are from here, people who are from here, they shit on where they're from.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, oh, they're like, oh, like Vancouver's so much better. Like, you know, go outside of Ontario. All I want to do in Ontario is to leave the province. So it's like, it depends on who you talk to. And then my friend who lives in Vancouver, she's like, oh, it's when I went and I was like, oh, this place is so nice. I love it here. She's like, oh, it's so refreshing to see someone actually talking nicely about Vancouver. Yeah. Because all she hears is like shit
Bad
talking,
stuff.
which is the same for us.
Yeah. 100%. But I was also thinking, what you said about you always shit on the place that you're from.
Mm-hmm.
That's so bad, first of all.
Yeah.
And then second of all,
It is bad.
I just thought about back home. Because that's what
You
people...
never do that, though.
I never do that.
Yeah.
But that's what people always do.
They shit on their home.
They shit on their home. It's always like, oh, yeah. Like, especially people who stayed. Like, not international students. So, like, let's say my friends who are still there, I'm talking to them, they're like, oh my god, you're in Canada. That's like the best place on this freaking earth. That's the dream.
You're living the life.
And I'm like, okay, sure. I get that perspective for sure. But then, like, Kazakhstan's not bad. And I'm always like, okay, guys, we have this and this and that. But then it just goes back into, like, routine. And when you see that so much, you just get tired of it. So, but I never do that to home. I'm a proud citizen.
I feel like I do it less and less now.
Oh, you definitely do.
Less, right?
100%. Since first year, you changed a lot in that perspective.
Yeah, I used to be very much like, I want to leave Malaysia, like I don't like it there, whatever. But obviously, like, you spend more time away from home, you miss it, and then you start to think of the good things about it. So that's kind of where I stand right now. And then I was just gonna say something I forgot.
You have that a lot.
Yeah, I know.
When I cut the videos, Erica's like, I want to say something, but I forgot.
It'll come back to me.
I remember us talking one time when it was like, why people back home think of Canada as the best place on earth. And then I remember living here, like in Toronto especially, people hate it. Like, it's always, at least for me, it's always like, oh my god, like, I just want to get out of Canada, get out of here, like, Europe, Asia.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it makes me feel like shit because I'm like, okay, like, I came all the way here.
right?
And then now you're like, I don't know. It's just like...
And especially, I feel like, for you more, because people, when they hear they're from Malaysia, they're like, oh my god, it's so nice, it's so pretty, it's warm, like, why'd you leave? Nobody says that about me because people don't know Kazakhstan. Because people just don't know.
I don't feel bad when they say it because I know why I left.
Yeah.
And I don't think anything they say will change my mind because I know, like, they never lived there. They don't know how it's actually like. It's the same as, like, you know, traveling or going on vacation somewhere. It's completely different than living there. So I don't feel bad about that. It's more of, like, sometimes, like, when they say, like, oh, like, why did you choose Canada? Like, out of all places, why did you come here? I'm like, thanks for the warm welcome.
I know. But are you glad that you chose Canada?
I don't regret it.
I think it happens for a reason.
I feel like I do think about, like, maybe I should have chose somewhere else. Maybe I should have went somewhere else. But I try not to think about it. I feel like there's no point in thinking like that. Yeah.
That's so long.
Deep in thought.
I was just like, damn.
I'm not like, oh, thank God I chose Canada. I'm so glad I came here. I'm so glad I didn't go somewhere else. But I also don't want to be like, oh, I wish I went somewhere else instead. Maybe a part of me think that for sure. But I try not to, just because it's not something that I can change. So
I don't know how I feel about saying it, but my first thought was like, I'm really happy I chose Canada. Like, I'm really glad I made that choice. And whenever people ask me, like, any questions about, like, applying to unis or stuff, because I went through the whole process and I had a lot of options. It's not that, like, for me, it was, like, only Canada. I was choosing between countries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really glad I chose Canada, like, for real. We'll see where it lands.
Yeah.
Because we're still just, like, 4th year. But, yeah.
I think that's my difference. For me, it's because I didn't think of anywhere else.
Yeah.
My mind was set on Canada since, like, I first went into high school.
To high
Since,
school,
like, grade
yeah.
8, grade 9, I was like, yeah, I'm going to Canada. Like, I didn't even bother, like,
Looking somewhere else.
yeah, not even just apply. I didn't even look.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even consider. It was just, like,
Yeah, probably that's
Canada.
why.
So,
For me, I was choosing in between so many countries
yeah.
that I chose this. That's when people ask me, like, oh my God, why did you choose Mac? Why did you choose Hamilton? I'm like, I chose this.
Yeah, you went through all your options and you made your
I'm
decision.
proud of my choice.
Yeah.
And we are where we are.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I think what's taking me aback at least is like, oh my God, if I chose this uni, maybe I had more options for this internships or for those industries that I wanted to go into. But then I'm like, okay, I figured that out throughout my experience here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I might have made a different choice if I was somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that I'm here, then I'll take it from here. We'll see where we go.
Yeah.
So, but then also, I think you had that written down as like FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get FOMO a lot in general?
Like, yes and no. I wrote FOMO because I was thinking that this whole idea of the grass is green on the other side is relevant
FOMO.
to FOMO. It's basically FOMO. It's like, I'm in Toronto, I see people in somewhere else, I'm like, oh, I want to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm missing out on whatever is on the other side. I feel like I got FOMO, like, for sure, but it's not something that, like, it's super serious that would, like, make me, like, sad or, like, whatever. I'm just like, oh, like, that's nice. I want to be there. I want to do that. But then I just forget about it in, like, an hour.
Okay, I'm different.
I know you do get FOMO.
I get
Quite a
FOMO
bit.
a lot. Well, like, I used to at least. Now I'm so much better with that. I'm like, especially I feel like with going out at least.
Yeah, that's a big one. Like, parties and going out.
Yeah. Like, I used to be like, oh my God, I have to go.
Yeah.
Even when I don't want to. Like,
Yeah.
I really don't want to. But I'm like, but what if this happens?
What if something
But this-
happens and you miss out?
It's always like that thought that what if this is going to be the party?
Yeah.
What if this is going to be the night? And I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
And then I remember last year I made that choice, or like whatever, 2 years ago. First time I didn't go to a party, I was like, it felt so nice. Like, I remember
I know.
people coming back and they're telling me, like, oh, this happened, that happened. I'm like, sure.
I'm like, you're like,
I
for
really,
you.
yeah, exactly. And I enjoy, like, I think the more I grow up, the more I understand how much I enjoy just being at home and just watching movie,
mm-hmm.
having a nice meal,
Mm-hmm.
being in a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the same thing with, if we're talking about grass is greener on the other side, is like, I always try to appreciate what I have. Like, yeah, I can see the stories of my friends who are going to like a birthday party. I'm like, oh damn, that must be nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I have my own stuff here. I'm liking my own stuff here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit different when it comes to family.
Mm-hmm.
It was my sister's birthday the other day, and I saw all of that. And I remember first year not being there for birthdays. That was hard because it was like, damn, everyone's there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all celebrating, and I'm
Mhm.
not there. And it
Yeah.
felt like, oh, so bad. But then now I'm okay with it. I think it's just like you get used to stuff.
Yeah. You learn to, like, say no and prioritize your own, like,
Wants and needs.
wants and needs, and, like, take care of your, I don't know, like, being comfortable, like, not going to things all the time and, like, staying home when you want to.
Yeah, and the same thing I think with, you know how people say like travel as much as you can and stuff like that. I agree with that. You definitely should travel,
Mm-hmm.
and you definitely should see places. But if you're not, like, you should be uncomfortable to a certain extent, because leaving your comfort zone is uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be for a long period of time, or it shouldn't cause you any like actual issues.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like social media plays, like, a big part in the whole.
Like, it's better there?
Yeah. Because, like, okay, yeah, this one I wanted to say. I remember now. Only took me like 20 minutes. When I went back home to Malaysia this past winter, I went out with like a group of friends from like my elementary school. Like I haven't seen them in a long time, and we don't talk at all. So it's like a reunion little thing. And then one girl was like, it was really fun. One girl was like, oh, like I see your Instagram all the time. You're like living your life. You're living the best life. All that. She's like talking so much about how like my life looks so cool and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty alright. I'm like, I just told her like it's not like that. No, my life is not like my Instagram. I feel like, for example, I don't post when I'm like in Hamilton going to McMaster, going to school and like all that, you know, like when I'm in house chilling. I post when I go explore, when I go in the city, when I go travel. So like that's all they see, and they're like, oh, she's so cool. She's doing all this, doing all that. Which is like, yeah, I'm doing stuff, but at the same time, it's not. Every day's not like that.
Exactly.
Sometimes I post things that happened like a week ago. You know? Yeah. So it's like I always say like Instagram is not how my life is like. It's just a small part of it. And then it's the same thing. Like I hear that a lot. My cousin also like she's always like, you're living like,
oh my god,
amazing. Like
same
you must
thing.
be so happy. And I'm like, yeah.
You're saying this is like exactly what I've heard when I went home.
Exactly. Yeah.
All the time. Oh my god, you're living the best life.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this and that. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, the thing that people need to understand is that what you see on social media is not real.
Bro, it's
like,
so not real.
It's real, but it's not full. Like, you're not seeing the full picture.
Exactly. We just know how to take pictures.
We just know how to take pictures. We know
how to make it look good or whatever.
For sure. It's like, obviously we do go out. Obviously our life is fun.
Yeah.
And stuff.
For sure.
But it's not all of it.
No.
Like when I was feeling anxious the other day, it was like really bad. I was sitting down and I just thought, oh my God, people have no clue. Like this happens to me. And they're looking at my story when I posted that I look so good or like whatever. And I'm like, yeah, like I said something fun as well. And they're like, oh my God, she is living the dream.
Yeah.
Sure. But that's not a full picture.
Yeah. I guess not to say that I'm not grateful. I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah.
That I get to experience all this. But it's like, I also have bad days.
We all do. This is, I think, off topic, but can we just talk about this? I think everyone is having fall depression right now.
Yeah. Bro, I swear.
We were talking yesterday, and you told me about our roommate. And then I was talking to my friend. She's also feeling, like, anxious. And that girl's never anxious.
Oh. Friend from back home?
Yeah. And then also with everything happening in the world, like, at least for me, I can't take anything in. Like, again,
I feel like that, yeah, with what's happening, I feel like my problems are so small that I feel like
you can't talk about it.
Well, not just that, but it's like I feel like I have more things that I should be doing other than my freaking assignment that's worth 10%. I feel like there's better things to do that I feel like I should be doing more things. I feel so like constrained. I don't know. It's weird. And like I've been saying like I'm so tired, but like again, I didn't even do anything.
That used to be me. No, I'm just like, you know what you said about like this doesn't make it, or like it's not worth it? How do you put it? Like my assignment's not, like, it's worthless basically compared to everything like happening in the world.
Yeah.
That's how I've been feeling about everything I do. And it's a shitty feeling.
It is a very shitty feeling.
Like when you do something and you're like, this is worthless.
Yeah. You've been saying that too. You're like, what am I doing this for? What am I doing this for?
I've been saying that since we started school.
Wait, like first year?
No, this year. This year. It's just like, it's a me thing for sure. But then again,
I think it's just we're in fourth year. Like we've been doing the same thing for 4 years. It's like, okay, like.
That's what my dad told me yesterday.
He was like, that. You're just over it. It's just repetitive.
No, and also like for sure. But also my dad said something like, it's fine to be feeling that because you are going into your adult life.
Mm-hmm. Just like the rapper.
you are going into your adult life, and then this like one thing that was secure in your life, which is school, is going to end soon, and you know that's what makes you feel so like not sure or whatever. And then with everything happening in the world, it just makes it worse. And I think especially because now we understand more and we can like do something because we're adults, that makes it worse. Because when you're a child and you look at those like news and stuff, you're like, whatever.
You're like, I can't do anything.
Exactly. You don't even think about it.
Yeah.
But now that you do think about it, and you're like, oh, I don't know about you, but I've been having crazy thoughts about like, how am I going to bring a child into this world? And I'm 21.
Like, how you going to raise a child?
Not raise a child, but like, this world is so bad. How am I going to bring a child into this? And I'm not anywhere near to having a child, by the way. But I've been having those thoughts. And
I saw a meme the other day. It was like, it was 3 generations. Like, old people were like I guess like maybe like boomers were like, yay, kids. And then, like, let's have kids. And then millennials, or maybe a little bit older than millennials, were like, I have kids, but I hate them. And then our generation's like, no kids. Absolutely no kids.
I think it makes sense why, though. Because it's like we know more about the world. That's why we're more scared of it.
Yeah.
So, no, because I've been, like, thinking about it for a while now. I'm like, how am I going to bring child into this? The world.
Into this mess.
Yeah. And I try to appreciate everything I have. I really try to appreciate, like, okay, maybe I'm not the happiest right now. Like, I want to be in a different place. But I have to appreciate this because I know the moment's going to be gone. And I really don't want to regret not being in the moment. I've been saying that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm trying to take all of this last year in and breathe through me and, like, really enjoy it. But sometimes it's hard.
Every time it's hard. It's hard all the time.
Because it's like every minute she's like, that's
No. I don't know.
This is a weird episode.
It's a weird episode? It's a very honest episode.
I guess.
Do you think, like, we'll ever grow out of this whole grass is green on the other side, we want what we can have mindset? Or it's just human?
It's just human.
Yeah.
I think it's just human, but at least for me, I know I'm better at that now compared to when I used to be. This is a funny story, and I think it's related to this topic. Growing up, my parents actually hated me for saying this all the time. I'll be like, what's next? What's next? You know, my whole planning thing, me checking all this stuff. I've been like that since I was born. Like, when I was a small little kid, we'd be, like, going, I don't know, to play something. I'm like, okay, what's next? We just started doing it.
You're thinking of what's going to happen before, like, you even, like, enjoy what's happening in the present.
Yeah.
That's bad.
And, like, it's not that I started somewhere when something happened. I've been like that. Like, nothing happened in my life. And again, going back to that, I feel like I've always been, like, anxious or whatever.
Well, that's just you. It's fine.
Yeah. But it goes, like, for me, it just takes more time to appreciate things. And I know I'm so much better at that now. Like, because I can stop and be like, okay, I appreciate that we're in the studio right now. We're recording this episode. And, like, with everything else, I do like to plan. I do like to know what's ahead. But I'm also like, okay, no, we don't have to rush.
Yeah.
Just, like, sit, relax, and
take it in, absorb.
Yeah.
Live.
So,
love.
I know I'm better at that. I hope I'll be even more better growing up.
The best.
The best.
I hope to be the best.
But we'll see. Do you think you'll grow out of it? Do you see any, like, difference throughout your life when it comes to that?
I feel like the more I get to experience things, the more I feel it, actually. It's like, because, okay, I think, as in, like, okay, let's say, like, I was in Malaysia my whole life, right?
Yeah.
And then I suddenly make this big move to Canada.
Oh.
And I was in Hamilton for maybe like, I think a year and a half, like straight without going back or something like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I like it here. It's fine. I enjoy my time here. I'm glad I came here. I like it more than Malaysia. And then I experienced living in Toronto for the first time in summer. And I got to see that for a short amount of time. I'm like, oh, this is what I want. And that makes going back to Hamilton harder.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So I got to Toronto. Toronto's so much nicer. And then I go to Amsterdam. I'm like, oh, this is the peak. This is even better. And then I go back to Hamilton. I'm like, okay, I've experienced that. I don't want this. I want that. And then I go to Vancouver. I'm like, oh, I want this now. So it's more of like I've experienced all these like good experiences for such a short amount of time. It was enough for me to enjoy it, but not enough for me to like
fully be in the moment.
Something like that.
Because I was thinking when you go somewhere,
not enough. Yeah, like I still crave it because I only got to enjoy it for such a short amount of time.
And I think that's also important that you, when they're knowing that you'll be leaving soon. Because I feel like that's a big thing for exchange. When you go somewhere for like such a short period of time, you know you'll be living there. You did live there, but you know you'll be leaving soon. So you're like, well.
Yeah.
So you're always like on a clock of like, next thing. I need to take in as much as I can because I won't be here in like this amount of time. Yeah. And it's good for like planning purposes, but it's definitely not good for like being in the moment kind of thing. So I think that's what it is. Yeah. Kind of.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm just thinking like if I didn't go anywhere, if I stayed in Hamilton like this whole time throughout my university, like how would my whole mindset change? I don't know.
I think you would be a very sad person. Like, I'm not talking about anyone else, but like for Erica. I realize for me, I can't do a lot of change. Like change always puts me in a bad state, but I need some type of change like throughout. But that's what I think about like traveling. I don't think I can like change living places a lot, and I don't think I would be ever fully okay with living for like 2 different cities. You know how people sometimes live like half a year here, half a year there. I don't know if I can do that. I might be doing that just because I'm not from here and my whole family is not here and all of that. But I don't know how I'm like actually would be feeling about that. Like I like traveling. I like when my life is in one place, but then I go somewhere for a vacation.
And you come back.
And then come back. There's always that like home. But also people say home is people.
Home is where your heart is.
And I love the English.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I think maybe I just need to meet the love of my life.
And then you'll be like, oh,
and then
that's my home.
Honestly, though, I've been thinking about that because I need the... Like, I always say I'm okay with being alone. Okay, I don't always say that, but I'm okay with being alone. And obviously, I moved like so far. Obviously I'm okay. But then I found Erica, so I'm so like not tightened, but like unconsciously, I'm always thinking, oh, what is Erica gonna do? Or like, what if we do this together? Like, I feel like sometimes I'm like, she's my partner.
You're planning your life with me.
No, for real though.
No, I do that too. Like we've been like saying that.
We've been saying that, but it's just like when I got myself on that thought of like, I'm basically treating you as I would treat my boyfriend. Like planning my life with someone. And I was like, wait, this is what I'm running away from. I'm running away from like having those like, I don't want to plan my life based on someone else's. But then I'm like, that's exactly what I'm doing just with my friends.
Because you're with a friend, it's like it feels more comfortable. It feels and
exactly. Safer. So I'm like, okay, wait, what's happening? Then I caught myself.
It's so funny.
On that thought, yeah. I was like, damn.
You're like, am I gonna marry Erica?
No, I was like, am I gonna be like Erica's gonna like find someone, they're gonna live happily ever after, and they'll be like in the next apartment being like, hi, what are you guys doing actually?
That's actually so funny.
Or I'll be like the nanny of the kids. I'll be like, yay, whoa. So that's an interesting thought. So guys, if anyone has commitment issues, try and think maybe you actually committed to your friend.
Oh, yeah.
So there's that.
Well, I don't know. It's just always easier to imagine life like with a friend than with a partner. At least for us. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it's everyone. I really don't think so.
Not everyone. We're just fucking weird like that.
Because I have friends who think about it, but they never think about like, oh, I'm gonna.
Yeah, no, it's just us.
It's just us.
Avoidant.
Avoidment issues, commitment issues,
All the issues.
all of it. Yeah, so I was like, okay, give me a second. But it's just like when you don't have your family near you, it's like it makes sense to be planning your life based on someone else who you think as a family of, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moral of the episode?
Moral of the episode is live in the moment. Appreciate what you have right now, and like it's okay to think that it's okay to want things, but like if you revolve your life or like around that, you're not gonna be happy because you miss out on what's in front of you. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, so
You'll always be in the state of missing out.
yeah, missing out, like desiring, like envy, all that. Envy, you wanted to say envy.
Envy.
Yeah, so just live in the moment, appreciate what you have right now, and yeah.
You did not look happy when you said that. One thing I'm gonna say is one thing that stuck with me, and I've been trying to do that since summer. Try to enjoy what you have right now, because this moment is gonna be gone. Because this moment will be gone, and you will be regretting not living in it. Does that make sense?
Period.
Okay. Because I said it and I was like, oh my God, this is so
but like
long.
when you said that to me, I was like, okay, yeah, no, you're so right. Because you said I was complaining a lot, but like, oh, I'm so done with school, I'm over it, I just want to like leave. And then you were like, yes, but also like you will look back at this time and be like, oh, I wish I spent my last year like not just trying to leave and actually enjoying my last year in university before I move on to like my adult life. So I've just been trying to think that too. So that makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a very good like mindset to have.
Yeah. Well, for me, I came from somebody said it as a phrase, like I just try to do that now. But then I also heard that from a lot of like adults, them saying like, oh, university years are so much fun and you guys are living it. And I was like, you know what? Maybe we are.
Yeah.
Like and I don't want to go into my quote unquote adult life thinking like, oh, I should have appreciated university.
Like
I
regret.
Exactly. I want to go in there and be like, I did everything I could have. I loved it as much as I could have. Next step.
Yeah.
And I did that with school. So like now looking back at school, I'm not like, oh my God, I wish I did this or this and that. I loved it. I did everything I could there, and that step's done. So.
And on that note,
thank you so much for listening, guys.
Thank you for listening, and we hope you somehow found this relatable, feel better.
Hopefully.
But we will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
But God, I love the English.